It is not going to be a team game today. We have a free-for-all, and this is taking place on a very special map in which everybody gets 8 ACUs. So there are 64 nuclear-powered explosion robots on the field today. But look at our teams, but because it's a free-for-all, the balance doesn't really matter. So we don't need to go around and introduce everyone, because to be honest, everyone is starting to shoot already, as you can see from this. So we've got Silent Noob, we've got Buttons, our veteran from the Gap game, the Caribbean Gap. We've got Lev Trotsky, he's playing in Marxist Red there. We've got 424 Phobos, which you probably don't want marching you into your base. We've got Vish. We've got the Crow for Luck, very veteran FAF player there. We've got Princess Burke, who is actually Princess Burke in the green Aeon colour. And we've got our low-rated player, who I am obviously going to be cheering for, Svist. So looking at our players, I would expect on a map like this that everyone is going to start trying to group their commands together.
Under attack.
But that is not what we're seeing. Silent Noob is making bases everywhere he is. Buttons
Commander under attack.
doing the same.
Commander under
Bitched.
attack.
Well, he's not moving together either.
Commander
Phobos
under attack.
does seem like he's going to try to group in a few small areas like this.
Commander
Trotsky,
under
well, he is
attack.
going hardcore grouping there. I think that's very smart of him. The Crow for
Commander
Luck
under attack.
is grouping bottom left, by the looks of this. With only one comm in the top corner, but he's going to run into Burke, who is actually also doing
Commander
the same
under
thing,
attack.
grouping bottom left. And Svist
Commander under attack.
looks like he's moving bottom right, possibly. So we're definitely going to see some early comm kills here. I don't think there's any way around that. The players are just going to have to fight and die for the corners. I think this is going to be a little bit like Risk. Ever played Risk, where there's always someone who tries to take and hold Australia and not let anyone else anywhere near it? I think this is going to work the same. I think if you want to take and hold an area that you can eco in safely, and if you're unable to do that, well, this is high quality gameplay right here. Oof. I think if you can take and hold an area that you can eco safely in, you're going to do well. I think if you're unable to do that and you end up with a decentralized base, probably you're going to suffer. You're just going to get attacked on all sides, especially looking at the teams actually up here. There's quite a lot of UEF, and that means that those no man's land... Oh, Phobos loses his first ACU there. He is down to 7 stocks left. Almost certain that Svist will be the second one to take one. Yeah, he's definitely dead. But he's not going to lose the game because, really, oof, because he has a whole bunch more ACUs remaining.
Commander under attack.
And you're not going to
Commander
lose
under
the game until you've lost all your ACUs. Svist is definitely grouping bottom left. I think Burke has been smart here. He's also bottom left. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 comms together. The Crow for Luck is... he has tried to migrate
Commander
down here and
under
it did not
attack.
work. And now he is just kind of setting up all over the place. He's got a big old... He's building a wall here across... he's building a wall across the map there. I'm not sure how that's going to work out for him. Our red Aeon player here has got he's got 3 bases as Phobos loses another comm. Svist not being a pushover in this corner. He has got all his comms here and he is bullying. I'd like to see that. The Crow for Luck here, he's losing comms pretty quick. He's at a big disadvantage. I think he's going to lose these 2. That was an overcharge as well, so Trotsky has got overcharge here. Spreading the glory of Marxism. Is he going to lose his comm necessarily? No, he gets these 2 comms out with just under 1,000 health. Oh, another one down. I think that's one of... I think that's Richard. It's like Richard, but it's also Vichy France. I don't know. We're going to call him Vi. That's maybe a good idea. He's playing League. Getting wrecked. About to lose another one here. Slightly AFK. And I think that's going to be a problem because you haven't got APM to deal with all those comms, you're just going to lose them left and right. Like right now, he should move this comm into here and blow up his opponent's base and all his build power. That would be a smart idea, but I think he's, you know, look at his view, he's just got so much going on. He's attacking here, he's got a comm-on-comm fight here, he's trying to retreat here, he's trying to build here, making units, there's just too much going on. So who looks like they're doing strong at the moment? Well, I think actually Burke is doing pretty well. He's got all his comms down here, he's got a big army. I think Svist is doing well, he's got his comms in a corner. No base to speak of though. Svist, you can make units, they are a thing in this game. The Crow for Luck is looking very strong up here. Tech 2, Eco, he's got PD creep going. Is he just going to queue that up straight into his opponent? Yes he is, and it's UEF so it's hard to deal with. Button's looking strong, as you would expect, given that he held off, was it like 4 players by himself last game we casted? Going T2 here himself, and he's got 2 little clusters here. If he can join them up, get rid of the rest of Silent Noob, I think that would be very strong. Ooh. Silent Noob's actually in a lot of trouble, I think. If you look at his position, this is being overrun. This is lost. Over here, he's losing this base to PD creep from both sides. Look at that.
Hey, stop!
That is not a good place to be. Poor Silent Noob. He's having a comm fight down here that he should be winning, but he's actually got no health on his comm. This base is free, but I suspect that the Crow is going to push out quickly. He's got this down here, but he's got no comms to defend it, versus Svist has got 6 comms. Svist could easily kill this. And he's got 1 base here, which can't deal with actually Burke. I think the question here for Burke is, why is Burke not simply crushing out here? Does he? I guess he doesn't know. But he has 5-6 comms here. He could easily walk over this. He's making scouts up here, but down here would be a good idea. We're going to have a good old 3-way in the corner here by the looks of things. Button's pushing in. Pushing into Vi's base at the same time as Burke is pushing out with a whole bunch of Zooies. Are their armies going to cancel each other out? Maybe they will. Svist is really not... I guess being 700 he's just not used to dealing with. Is he power stalling really bad?
Commander under attack.
No, he actually has good eco. Svist, make some units, my friend. This isn't Gap. You will have to fight. Ooh. Oof. Painful one there. So who has the most comms left? So we have to select them like this. Well, Trotsky hasn't lost any, so he is doing great. Silent Noob, he's lost 2. Buttons, he's lost 3. Fi up here hasn't lost any. The Crow for Luck, has lost 3. Phobos, how's he doing? Well, he's lost also 3. How did he draw? That doesn't make any sense. Excuse me, game, would you like to explain this?
Commander under attack.
Actually, Burke's top base here is just overrun. Man, I'm just missing everything. Silent Noob actually has some bombers out. And he's done really well out of Phobos control K-ing here. He's kind of big brain. Burke has not pushed out at all. I think he's spending too much effort on this. Why does he care about this? He has this down here. He should just be... He's got these 4 comms here, 5 comms. He could take basically a huge amount of the map here. But I think he's wasting all his effort trying to hold this. Is he still stalling? He's stalling 130 mass. When there's mexes here to take. That feels bad. It seems like Buttons is actually going to do him a favour though and kill off this base. That will hopefully allow Burke to concentrate down here. Svista's got the T2 eco, but he's a long way behind the other players. We look at actual eco, 183 for Buttons, so he's in lead. 174 for the Crow. He started RAS though. 250. Really? Must be reclaim. I really like the Crow's position here. I think this is very strong. He's got a protected place he can eco. He could go T3 land, T3 air, sorry, back here. Don't think it's really worth making a whole bunch of strats because there's so many comms. But you could definitely bomb their expensive eco. These mexes are within Cyber and bomber range. And that's another thing about this game, is that you could potentially make whichever units you want, right? So if you want, you can make all GCs for your land and then Cybrans for your strats. And then you make Ravagers for your PD. It's pretty strong. Large amount of missile launcher spam here. Burke still holding on to this base. As soon as he dies, these two can just fight it out and he can expand. Only got Zico's really bad right now. Does he have no power? He's got 1 power. Uh-oh. Svist looks like he could be in trouble here. Maybe. There's T3 land, that's the problem. Silent Noob is just straight up making T3 engineers on his doorstep. That is absolute BM right there. Though, to be honest, Silent Noob doesn't have anywhere else to make them. His base is just in the middle of everywhere. I think if Silent Noob could crush Svist here, that would obviously be cyberbullying because he's double the rating of Svist, but he would then have a very big corner down here to work with. He just needs to defend from the Crow and then push left to take these bases then. We'll see what Svist is made of. Can he defend this attack? He's got his comm out. He's taking Oblivion turret fire. I've just seen on the map that the inevitable Ravager push is here. And taking names already. So Buttons with the Ravager creep, and he really doesn't need to go very far with those. Look at the range. He only needs to put them here, and just this base is just gone. I don't think there's very much that Trotsky and his Marxism can do about this. He actually has nano on these comms. Gun nano, gun nano, gun nano. That's really strong. Ooh! Svist is losing his comms. That one's definitely going to die. Silent Noob turns up with his own commanders here. Boom. This is a strong commander army, but it's not strong against a whole bunch of Ravagers behind shields. I feel like he could have taken these gun comms and he could have crushed Burke a long time ago. Right? Gun nano comms and gun comms versus comms with nothing but T2. Not much of a fight. And poor Svist is getting burned to death here by Scorchers. The Crow for Luck is up to T3 and raiding with Titans, which is very strong considering how, you know, open this area is. Burke's still holding on to this base. It's got 3 Tech 1 mexes and he's spent so much money defending it. I think the sniper bots are going to eventually win though, making sniper bots out of this, and they are going to be in range of everything. That's the Tech 2 factory that's about to go down. When that's done, I mean, I don't think... He's got another T2 here. Tech 2 air. Okay, so he's making Corsairs. So the response here from Svist is going to be to attempt to snipe. But his opponent obviously has a lot of comms, so that's going to be real difficult. Burke is losing a commander to Tech 1 bombers here. And the gun comm push, you don't normally see this, all the gun comms pushing at the same time. Ooh. Unfortunately, if one of them gets hit, they all take the damage. They all take 2,500 damage from that blast. The Ravagers are just going to push them away. A bit late, I think, to go for that. Will he lose another one on the retreat? Well, not if he micros. Uh-oh. Is this his last comm? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 left. That's a nice pick off if he gets the sniper bot. Yeah, nice work, Svist. Run in there with some cheap units. Well, mini chickens aren't that cheap, but run in there with the cheap units and take out the... So Burke loses a commander there by the looks of things to Tech 1 bombers. You know, the thing I'm a bit surprised about so far is I don't think any of the players have tried diplomacy yet. Does nobody do that? Talk out their problems? Come on guys, this is the future. I don't know what year FAF is set in, but I'm pretty sure that you can talk to each other. I'd be trying to make a deal with these guys. Think about if Buttons and Vi up here decided they were going to work together for a bit, and they both attacked Buttons. I mean, Buttons is probably the main threat right now, right? No, it's Buttons and Crow, basically. So if we were in the Crow's best interest to do away with Buttons, make some allies, and vice versa. Buttons could say, hey, by the way, Vi, if you go and attack the Crow, I'll leave you alone. Maybe they decided not to do that. Okay, here comes the Corsairs. But Silent Noob is a 1600 rated player and he is just going to dodge most of those. The gun comms here for Trotsky are going up. He has his own Ravagers now. but I think the damage is done. Might be better if he built some Ravagers back here and just went this way. Because Ravagers aren't great against Tech 1 units. So it looks like Fist did pick up a comm. He did get one of them. Is he going to get another one here? Yes, he is. So Fist taking names here. He is being an absolute thorn in Silent Noob's side, who has had to send all of his bombers north to deal with these missile launcher spam. Fist Corsair is following the bombers. It's chaos. Fat Boy under construction, and the range on that will definitely be an issue. Big number of factories. What is this? We got 22 factories here spamming out Zooies, and there's really nothing that Trotsky can do against spam of power of that magnitude. Well, he's also got all these up here and these. Okay, so he's got a lot more than 20. I also think the RT spam is a decent move. Awkward to deal with. Buttons really, considering how sedentary the game has been up here, the Crow for Luck has been kind of just ecoing up. But Buttons has just been fighting everybody all the time like an absolute weapon. He's still managing to kind of keep pace on eco. Mad lad. So Trotsky is trying to migrate away from the fall of the Soviet Union here. He's asking for... He's going to give up his base by the looks of this. He's asking America for safe passage to wherever in the map he's going to. The Crow finishes his Fat Boy, and there is only Tech 2 PD around on the map here, so he's going to be able to crush Silent Noob with all of his Tech 3. All of his Tech 3 units and his comms and his bombers. Still has not been able to dislodge Fist from the corner here, who's making Tech 3 engineers. And Buttons is content to let the Tech 2 RT do the work up here. A lot of units. And he's got bricks now as well, so very strong. And this is a problem with Burke, who's sat in the corner for a while, is that now that the Trotsky was fighting both sides is gone, there is only one place Buttons is going to go, and that is right down here. So we've got a chicken under the way for Vi. A Tech 2 RT being built extremely slowly up here in the corner. Burke now minus 256 mass. Even that fat finishes, it's not really going to do very much. Maybe he can target this. And the Crow for Luck is kind of going to end up coming to Fist's rescue, I think, here. All the Tech 3 units are being pulled north to deal with the Fat Boy. All the sniper bots and all the bombers all rallying in on the Fat Boy. Shield is holding for now. Another big wave of bombers inbound. Shields down, but the units have kind of run out there. All he managed to do was to push the Fat Boy away for a bit. Buttons up to T3 air. He has ASF on the field. And the Crow is airlifting comms forwards. Kind of surprised that we haven't seen a laser stealth comm, actually. I think that would be very strong in this kind of game, because not, you know, people aren't building Omni, and you've got no allies to look out for things for you. Anti-nuke here for Buttons. Doesn't protect most of his eco, actually. But it's what it is. I know everyone hates the icons, by the way. I am going to fix that. I think I'm going to go into the settings and try to remove all the icons which aren't the SMD and TMD based ones. The Crow with a bit of a mistake here. His Titans are AFK. That is what I do in matches. And I think the Buttons is going to see now that his main opponent for this game is probably going to be Buttons. I think both players are going to sniff that out. Yeah, just based on how much land they've got. Svist, you legend. He's still fighting. I believe in you, Svist. I don't think you can win, but you're being such an annoyance here. Going for this T2 power would be pretty good. Would blow up a lot of build power. Oh, the sniper bots though. We've got our sniper bots down here. And we've got a Fat Boy versus Tech 1 fight up here. One sniper bot goes down. The one comm goes down. Svist is going to go down fighting here. Boom. So Svist. Oh, he's still got one left. For now. He's looking kind of depressed here. You see in the background the Corsairs are actually killing the sniper bots, which is pretty big brain. Is he going to survive? It kind of looks like he is. Oh. Was that a Control K? It did kind of look like it. So the Fat Boy has survived that. Crow just spams up some PD here, deals with the turret, deals with that. Does anybody have a nuke yet? No, they don't. There are lots of anti-nukes though, because I guess they don't know who has a nuke. Very few players are going to be able to scout all the other players. So now I guess we see if Silent Noob is able to rush in, start ecoing and teching up quick enough to make use of the space he's earned him. He needs to hope that his enemies fight each other and give him a space to get into the game. His artillery here is actually kind of helping Buttons. But the Crow is on nearly 1,000 eco a second now. And not fighting Vi up here, who completes a chicken. And I think that chicken's probably going to go straight here. So scouting with ASF. Interesting choice. I think this is it's currently a three-way shootout. Well, we've got Buttons, the Crow, and Vi up here. And Vi has a strong army. He's got a lot of mini chickens. He's got shields. If he had some of these comms with, if he had laser comm as well, that would be a very strong force, especially versus this. Essentially, like, I think Vi could be the kingmaker here. Whoever he attacks is going to take a lot of damage. Looks like he's going for buttons. We'll see how much damage he gets done with this chicken. Chicken stops. What's it hitting? Well, there goes some hives. That shield prevented most of the damage there. Looks like he sent the chicken mainly by itself. I feel like if he had pushed in there and died in here, the lightning storm damage would have been massive. Silent Noob is spamming up artillery to deal with the fat boy, which is a pretty sensible idea. And just look how well he's taken this. He's got engineers everywhere. Burke, on the other hand, still down here at kind of Tech 2. He hasn't had a lot of... ever since Trotsky kind of like got displaced from this area, he's had no real competition. Full scout there by the Crow, and he should see that these two are fighting. It might be smart of him to just let them fight. Silent Noob done a great job here. That's a real comeback because he was getting crushed. Another experimental's got a spider. That might be a defense spider, to be honest. $379, $284. So 100,000 more mass worth in the Crow, although he's got a lot less units. Look. So Buttons made a spider, and he did manage to get rid of the chicken. Well, nobody has a nuke. Plenty of mass in storage to make nukes on these players. Apart from Silent Noob, who has 0. He's minus 420 there. Vi, full barring mass. Burke, still at 190. He's been mass stalling the entire game. It's like, I don't know why. It's like maybe if we look at his mexes, he's upgrading all of them at the same time. It doesn't look like it. He is upgrading 4 simultaneously here. And all, okay, maybe this is what he's been doing. Maybe he's been just pressed M to upgrade all of his mexes at the same time, and that's where his problems are coming from. That is a absolutely savage bombing run there. The big burr gun on the Cougar. Oh, so close! So close. That arty actually being quite damaging. And Silent Noob's sniper bots now turn their attention to Trotsky, and they've taken one out already. So that combat between Vi, who's only on 100 eco, and Buttons, who's on 1000, has really set them both back. Whereas the Crow has pushed on ahead, and he has added 50% to his eco since the last time. Look at his mexes, they're all T3. Trotsky tries to use Torque no Jutsu here, but it doesn't seem to be being very effective. He's trying to convince Buttons to go after Silent Noob, but he has his own problems. Buttons must see that the real issue here is the Crow for luck. The spider here from the crow is just gonna... Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that Silent Noob can actually stop that. I think the crow can just kill everything here with that spider. The only units that he's got to fight are these sniper bots, and they are a long way off. He needs to overcharge with the comms, I think. He's got 2 gun-capable overcharge comms. Okay, the spider primary is the one which doesn't have overcharge, which is good for him.
Double kill.
Another one down. Oh,
Triple kill.
unfortunate. And Silent Noob loses his last comm there. He is out, and that is going to leave a big old hole down here. So, will Burke finally expand? No. So much mass here. Burke completes an experimental, which is a fat boy, and he's going to use that to pressure poor Buttons, who is already fighting 2 people. Oh, and the crow builds a Scathis. Oh, Buttons, my boy. He's suffering. He's suffering here. I think trying to finish off the players down here is a lesson in not letting people live. Right here. Oh, a nuke from Vi. Interesting. Can he still nuke? Yeah, I guess he saw this and realized he can probably drop it here and kill all of this. And now Buttons is going to start losing bits of his base to this Monkey Lord. Vi, I think, is in trouble as well. He's got 2 experiments. He's got a crab coming down on him. So Vi is going to get done in by the crab and the fat boy. At the same time, we've got a fat boy pushing in against Buttons. Although this army can probably kill the fat boy if he goes now. If he goes in with everything. Go, 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 go. He needs to hold some of it in reserve to deal with this Monkey Lord, though. Oh, there's a chicken that's nearly finished. The Scathis at 30%. When the Scathis is done, you know it's going to go straight for Buttons. He's getting crabbed from both sides. Oh, Vi, my boy. Make an alliance. Talk in the chat. Save yourself, my son. Those Seraphim shields are good, but they're not that good. Got crab spider, crab fat boy here. Buttons makes another experimental, and that is another crab. So it's crab, crab, spider. And when Vi gets finished off, we're going to have crab, crab, spider versus crab, spider, fat boy. Surprised this fat boy here was allowed to keep its shield, actually. A nuke? Is that a Billy nuke? It is a Billy nuke. So actually Burke with the Billy nuke here. That killed a lot of Tech 2 units. 28.3 thousand mass killed on his comm there. And it looks like a big fat line of T2RT is going to potentially keep the Crow out. Or maybe the Crow is just going to focus his efforts on Buttons, who is fighting 2 people, soon to be 3 people at the same time, whilst the Crow just ecos. With that Scathis on its way. This is like the privileged kid here who starts with all the money and doesn't have to fight anyone, versus the hero main character who has a much rougher start in life. Button's fighting 3 people at the same time. Vi throws out the GG here. Boop, he's going to lose this comp. How many does he have left? 1. I don't think that Buttons should be throwing away this middle army. He might actually need it. This come up here is definitely going to die in the next few seconds. I need a 3rd screen. Trotsky says he's blind. Well, not as blind as Vi, who is now dead. He can only see this. Yeah, well, you could build a radar, my friend. What is this? Billy Nuke. Is he really going to fire a Billy just at that? That seems like a waste. So Vi is out. Burke and Trotsky are basically non-existent. Although I think just attack moving this straight into here would be a good thing. Or just regular move. And this is going to be the game deciding fight here, although I think at double the eco the Crow is already going to win. His Scathis is nearly finished. He's just going to retreat, and that makes a lot of sense. Does Buttons know about the Scathis? No, he doesn't. He can probably assume from this that something is coming. The Crow, for luck, on the other hand, can see everything. The Scathis is done. And the attack thing is straight onto the gateway there, right in the middle of the base. That is going to be GG, I don't think. Even if Buttons manages to win this, I don't think he's going to be able to recover from the economic damage from... I'm never going to financially recover from this. That's what's going to happen. He's got basically no shields either. Soul Ripper will deal with the army. Burke's comm was still up here at the corner. Why? Yeah, Buttons sees Buttons sees the Scathis. Unfortunate. Well, the fat boy is dead. Spider's dead. And he must just push everything forwards. But I think Buttons is going to control K here. I don't think there's any way for him to win. He can't snipe because there's so many comms. If he had a lot of strats, he could go for the Scathis. But he's still at half the eco. There's just these flanks up here, just flat T3 mixes. Just pushing units in would do a lot of damage, but I think it's too late. I do like this. This is my favourite move of the game. The vision tower in the middle of the map there. That's my favourite move. Very valuable. Not my anti-nukes. Anything but those. There is no anti-air with the army here either, so... And he can make T3 air if he had an air grid, but I think he's lost his air grid, and Crow already has a whole bunch of ASF himself. So this fight is basically over up there. I think the question is, who is going to win down here? Is actually Burke going to see off Marxism? This is actually a smart choice since he's got T2. The Tech 2 PDs are really strong. Building Tech 2 PD in between overcharges, pretty big brain. This comm will die, there's no way it's getting out now. Buttons throws out the GG. That is a interesting... why is there a artillery shell here? What is this? Excuse me? What is this? He's building his own Scathis, bless him. And the Crow says the start was hard, and he's right. If you remember, Crow only had one comm up here, and all his comms were down here, and he had basically migrated them, the great migration north to the white snowlands of the Crow for Luck. But once he was here, he had a much easier ride. He really wasn't troubled. Vi up here didn't really fight him, and Silent Noob wasn't really interested in conflict with him either, and he really just got to sit back and eco for half an hour? At least 20 minutes of just eco. And those gunships are actually really resistant to SAM fire. Had a very difficult kind of start, but once he got this corner base, the Crow not really touched by the other enemy players. Whereas Buttons was fighting everybody all at the same time. Perhaps, I think it's just because Buttons was in this middle slot, he had enemies on all sides. If he had perhaps focused all of his effort in just getting rid of one player, I think he could have gotten rid of, maybe gotten rid of this corner. Not easy to get rid of Burke down here because he had quite a few comms. And then remember, in the middle was there was a bunch of gun comms here as well. So not. I think Buttons just got a really unlucky position. Not with the start, but just where he chose to go didn't really play out for him very well. Obviously this game is done, but Trotsky doesn't know when to quit. Communism is beaten. Now he realizes there's a Scathis, but he realizes the Scathis is up, but a fat boy and a crab here, but that's just not going to do anything. I mean, look at this, brutalized by the bugs here. Dead. The crab exterminators have arrived. Dead. And it's really just a question of when they will leave. I think making some strats would be good for the Crow here. He doesn't even need to take the rest of the map. Zars, yep, go and dump a Zar on your enemy's head. And suddenly, if you put it on Trotsky's view, the world is quite peaceful. You've got to say, the occasional passing airplane, a Tsar just walks past.
Surprise, motherfucker!
The Tsar just turns up, decides to kill him. A teleport laser bomb drops up in Burke's face. Oh dear.
The winner is...
Look at all the comm kills. Absolutely disgusting. Who had more? Well, actually, Buttons and the Crow for Luck have the same amount, despite the the Crow being around for a lot longer. It shows you just how hard Buttons was fighting. I think Sviss did really well to hold off Silent Noob for so long. I think he did well there. Sviss, you played well. Buttons played really well, but just was a bit of an unfortunate placement. Yeah, look at the difference in mass. This is why one player with the corner there. You can't let someone take a corner and hold it like that in a free-for-all. Whilst you fight in the middle, they're just going to pull away. I don't know what else Buttons could really have done. Maybe he could have gone an early T3 arty and used that on the strongest player to kind of like mess them up. Or maybe he could have tried to make a non-aggression pact with some other players. I think the diplomacy, the talk no jutsu may have actually helped him there. I think it would have been worth a try. The amount of kills, absolutely disgusting. Well, thanks very much for watching. I know you guys don't always like the icon mod. I am working on something for that. I'm going to remove all the icons which aren't the nuke and the anti-nuke and the TML TMD. So hopefully that will clear up the view, make the icons a bit smaller, but still make it so I don't miss all the nukes and anti-nukes. So I'm going to try that, and maybe we'll go back to a more traditional cast. If you like these kind of weird games, I do want to showcase what FAF can do. You know, the Phantom games, the free-for-alls, the co-op stuff. I think it's really important for people to know this isn't just a a hardcore 1v1 game, and there are other stuff besides Gap. So we'll try to showcase some of the other stuff, especially if people like it. That's all. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.